ST.A.R, Student Action for Refugees, which is a national charity. And we basically work to enable students across the country to welcome refugees. And I wanted to talk to you today a little bit about some of the really amazing and important work that they're doing and that they have been doing for the past 25 years. We were set up in 1994 just by a couple of students who saw what was going on at the time and felt that there wasn't anything that they could do at university to get involved. So they set up a small student group which grew and then started to be set up in other universities. And it's got to a point where today we've now got groups at over 50 universities across the country. So we're supporting thousands of refugees every year in so many different ways. And I think it's so nice to see the kind of enthusiasm that students bring to this. So there's 4 main ways that students work to make the UK more welcoming to refugees. One of them is volunteering, and it's something that they do so well. Last year we had 2,000 ST.A.R students volunteering regularly at conversation clubs, homework clubs for children, football clubs, all sorts, really trying to make an impact in their local community and make sure that people who potentially have recently arrived or may have been there for a while, but giving them an opportunity to feel really welcomed in their society, in their local society. So yeah, volunteering, and that reaches about 4,000 people every year, which is a huge achievement. And I think something that's really notable is that a lot of the projects that students volunteer at are ones that they have set up themselves. So there's a really nice project called Love to Learn, which now actually is set up as a charity, but initially was just a ST.A.R project that students set up a little homework club for kids, and that's grown and grown. They take on staff now, so doing really great work there. Volunteering, then the second thing they do, which I think is potentially one of the most important things, is raising awareness. They will hold panel events or film screenings, discussions, sort of working to educate their peers, and I think it's really key that people see university as a place where these discussions need to be had, and that this is something that students need to be informed about. So they'll hold all sorts of different events, and again, reaching a lot of people, and we see lots of attitudinal change from them. We often do like little surveys, see where people were at before, not knowing anything about refugees, and by the end, feeling really inspired and feeling like they want to actually work now to make a difference in the lives of refugees and asylum seekers. Third thing is fundraising for the S.T.A.R charity. If anyone's got loads of money, hit me up. That's cool. Because they do their bit. But yeah, we're actually a very small charity. Sorry, this wasn't supposed to be a fundraising plea. Don't know where that came from. And then the final thing is campaigning, and that's where I kind of wanted to focus today, because we have a campaign that we've run for a number of years now called Equal Access, and it's somewhere where we're making a really huge impact. When you're seeking asylum in this country, there are a number of extra barriers that you face to accessing higher education. So for one thing, we saw in Arena's talk, they don't have the right to work. And then they're living on, if they declare themselves destitute, they're living on £37.75 a week. So yeah, the Equal Access campaign that we've set up really tries to change that. So when we started it, I think 15-ish years ago, there were a handful of universities that had some kind of scholarship scheme in place to enable people seeking asylum to go to university. And we realised that students have so much power within their universities. They're considered customers these days because of the amount of money that they're paying, and as such, they have the right to demand certain things. So we really try and enable them to talk to their universities by giving them pledges, petitions, ways of demonstrating that students want this change to happen. Universities largely have a lot of money and quite a big budget for scholarships for various different groups of people. So we really think that they should also, and potentially, well, particularly be
providing scholarships for asylum seekers because of what we've spoken about and because of how life-changing university can be in helping people feel settled, making connections, and developing a sense of community and a sense of worth. So yeah, it's grown and grown and grown, and it's one of those kind of things where the more universities see other universities doing it, the more they're keen to get involved too. So every year we're seeing more. We've now reached over 70 universities offering some kind of equal access policy, which means that every year 200 asylum-seeking or refugee students are accessing university who would otherwise not be able to, which is really huge, and I think such a valuable, like, long-term change for students to make during their time at university. So we work to set scholarships up, but there's loads of other ways that we're trying to get universities to improve access as well. One thing that we've started to notice is that without constant reminders, universities can kind of forget a little bit that they're supposed to be maintaining these scholarships, and having our student groups in place has meant that we've been able to challenge these very quickly. So at S.T.A.R recently we found out that the really comprehensive scholarship package they had was not going to be continuing the following year. So we got our students right on it, talking to their vice-chancellor, and they managed to rescue them. Which is great, and it has meant that, again, this year we're having more people going to university, which I think is such an important thing. I kind of also wanted to say today, like, I kind of wanted to give you something to go away with, because I think we can hear about how inspiring these students are and all the great things that they're doing, and feel a little bit like, well, how can I get involved, especially if you're not at university, which I imagine many of you aren't. Are any of you from universities? No? Yay. Okay, cool. We can chat after. So I think something that's so useful is sharing our huge list of universities that provide some kind of scholarship support with anyone that you think might want to know that. We have a specific member of staff who's now in charge of the whole campaign. So we have someone that is there constantly updating the information, providing information, frequently asked questions. All of that is on our website. So please share that as widely as you can and let people know that they can go to university. And then if there are a couple of hands for people that are students. If you're students, please get involved with S.T.A.R. Please come and have a chat with me. I'd be really happy to talk to you. And if you're involved in universities in any way, or perhaps if you've been to university and you would like to check if your university is involved, do look at our list. And if they're not, we'd love to hear if you have some kind of desire, energy, impetus to try and change that, because the more people that get involved with making this happen, the better. We are trying to get every university in the UK to have an equal access policy, and I'm sure that if we all work together, we will be able to. Thank you very much.